Our spotlight story tonight is about a collection drive in Moses Lake that's helping to keep children warm for the winter. Reporter Jeff Chu has that story.
Oh, nice.
Many needy young students at Moses Lake schools have warmer hands and heads thanks to a collection drive headed up by the employees at Northwest Farm Credit Services. The Moses Lake branch of Farm Credit recently delivered more than 500 gloves and hats to several elementary schools where the items are being distributed to students in need. In December, Farm Credit staffers created drop boxes and placed them at several retail store locations and at their office. TJ McBee, the Farm Credit staffer who led the effort, said she was pleasantly surprised at the outpouring of community generosity. Donors bought the items in stores and dropped them in the boxes.
It's so sad to see some of these kids come to school and they've either forgotten, lost, or, don't have, gloves or a hat to keep them warm. And our elementary students, they get sent out to recess even now when it's 20 degrees outside.
McBee explained how she and Farm Credit staff came up with the idea for the drive.
We do a really good job in the summertime of doing stewardship and fundraising, but we hadn't really found a niche or anything to do in the wintertime. So at one of our meetings in October, I kind of brought up the idea that maybe we should think about doing something along the lines of a coat drive or a toy drive or a book drive or something that would help kids around this time of year. And one of the other ladies that had a huge hand in getting this together and developed and stuff, Darla Cornelson, she came up with the idea of actually the warm accessories, the mittens, the coat, or the mittens, hats, and gloves.
Guillermo Maddox, branch manager for 5 years at Northwest Farm Credit Services in Moses Lake, says the company is highly supportive of its employees getting involved in community charity efforts.
That's one of the great things about Farm Credit. They're very supportive of these initiatives that we come up with at a branch level, and so this is definitely something that I hope we continue to do on a yearly basis.
One of the schools to receive gloves and hats was Midway Elementary, where Principal Chris Hendricks said the donation was well received. He said students are still receiving new gloves and hats. Hendricks mentioned that 85% of the school's students are living at poverty level.
Northwest Farm Credit obviously cares about kids, and we really appreciate the generosity. It's making a difference for our kids, helping them to be safer and healthier. Our kids are gaining a sense of self-worth, that people out there do care about them, and that they're worthy of that care.
One of the students to receive gloves and hats was Midway Elementary third grader Mariana Zomenio. McBee explained it was a learning experience for her.
Just there's a large need. There's a lot of kids that, don't have a lot. And it's kind of cool to see people come together.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
And we'll be right back after this.